Hello, good morning all of you. Welcome to this online class. This is Mr. Annarao, teacher of English, JK High School, Saripalli of Nelimarla Mandal. I think you're all enjoying the online classes. Well, the class today is going to be on the second segment or second part of the A reading, Attitude is Altitude. So this lesson is completely about a great personality, a great motivational speaker, Nick Vujicic. So let me recap what you learned in the first part. This is called recapitulation. Okay, Nick Vujicic was born in Melbourne, Australia in 1982. Of course, he was brought up, he moved to America later. So he is called Australian American Evangelist. Evangelist is a Christian preacher. Okay. So let us see about him. So you know that well that he was born as a torso. Who is a torso or what is a torso? A torso is the main part of the body without arms and legs. So he was born without arms and legs. Okay. Next, he has a small foot on his left hip, So of course that helps him to balance his body, that helps him to kick balls, that helps him to swim. Of course, we will know them all later. And of course, just like a joke, he calls this small foot a chicken drumstick. Okay, so his small foot on his left hip is called a chicken drumstick. Now, he plays golf and football. He plays golf and football. He likes swimming and surfing on waves. And he is a huge fan of the English Premier League. This league is connected to the football. Okay, like IPL we have for cricket. This EPL is for football. This is all you learned in the previous part. Okay. Now let's get into the second part. Okay. Okay, students, this class is going to look like your regular classroom because today I'm going to give you the meanings of almost every word of the text. So you are going to have a detailed lesson as in your regular classroom, right? Let us go to the text. The first lesson, first part. His parents decided not to send him to a special school. A decision, he said, was very hard for him, but which may have been the best decision they could have made for him. When Nick was born, his father was so shocked that he left the hospital room to vomit. His distraught mother could not bring herself to hold him until he was 4 months old. Right? So, dear children, before getting to the text, lesson look velle mundu okasari let us have a look at the meanings. Okay, the first meaning. What is a special school? A school for disabled children. See, we are in regular schools. Almost all of us are regular schools. Okay, we have no specially disabled children, but there are schools which run for only disabled people, disabled children. What are those disabled children? Mute, dumb children, okay, deaf children, or cripple, kuntivallu, atlage blind. So these children study in schools specially, they are called special schools. Here his parents, whose parents? Nick's parents, Nick Vujicic. Nick's parents decided not to send him to a special school. Usually this kind of boy is generally admitted in a special school, but these parents' decision was different. A decision, he said, was very hard for him. Really, it was very hard. A boy like Nick, without having arms and legs, studying in your classroom, don't you feel it's different? Yes, you feel different, but this boy feels difficult. It was very difficult. It was very hard for him, but which may have been the best decision they could have made for him. They, here they refers to the parents. So it might be or it may be the best decision taken by the parents, because they did not admit him in a special school. Of course, the decision was very hard. ఈ నిర్ణయం చాలా కష్టమైంది అతనికి. Okay, then let us see the second paragraph. When Nick was born, his father was so shocked. Really, it is very, it's a very normal thing for a father or even for a mother, because they expect a child to be good to look. చూడడానికి బాగుండాలనుకుంటారు. బట్ కలర్ పక్కన పెట్టేసేయండి, కలర్ పక్కన పెట్టండి. అట్లీస్ట్ విత్ ద ఆర్మ్స్ అండ్ లెగ్స్ పుట్టరని ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయరు కదా. సో బట్ దిస్ బాయ్ వాజ్ బోర్న్ లైక్ దట్, వితౌట్ ఆర్మ్స్ అండ్ లెగ్స్. చూడగానే దిస్ ఫాదర్ వాజ్ షాక్డ్ that he left the hospital room to vomit. Immediately, he could not tolerate that. He could not feel happy on seeing him. So he went out of the room. Hospital room bayatiki vachesi he vomit. What is the meaning of vomit? Let us see. Vomit means throw out the contents of stomach. So want cheskodu anamata. So it threw out the contents of the stomach. Maybe some food items came out of his mouth when he saw the boy. Then what happened to mother? His distraught mother. So mother was also like that. He is distraught. What is distraught? Let us see. Distraught means deeply saddened or unhappy. She was deeply saddened. If a father is so, what about mother? Mother feels even worse than that, right? His distraught mother, chala baadhapindina, deeply saddened or unhappy mother em chesaru, could not bring herself to hold him. What is this meaning? Bring herself means bring herself to do some activity, means that means get the courage to do an activity, or to convince oneself to do an activity. ఒక పని చేయడానికి తను ఒప్పించుకోవడాన్ని bring herself or himself, bring myself to అంటాం అనమాట. ఇట్స్ ఎ ఫ్రేజ్. సో bring herself to means she get the courage to do an activity. Here this mother, ఏ మదరు, ఈ నిక్స్ మదర్, distraught mother, unhappy mother ఏం చేశారంటే could not bring herself to hold him. అతను పట్టుకోవడానికి, to hold him, to పట్టుకోవడానికి అను ధైర్యం చేయలేకపోయింది అనమాట. ఎంతవరకు? Until he was 4 months old. See how pathetic, how sad it is to a mother. The mother, on seeing the child, she immediately hugs the child. But till the boy reached 4 months age, she couldn't touch him. She couldn't hold him affectionately. It is not the dislike. It is not the hatred. Asahయం కాదు. It is not showing that she has no affection. ప్రేమ లేదని కాదు. It is that kind of state of mind. అట్లాంటి మైండ్ అంటే మానసిక స్థితిలోకి తను వెళ్ళిపోయింది అనమాట. She could not even hold him, పట్టుకోలేకపోయింది అనమాట. So here we have four difficult words. One is special school, of course vomit, distraught, and bring herself to. Okay, right. This is the first sheet. Now, his disability came without any medical explanation, a rare occurrence called phocomelia. And Nick and his parents spent many years asking why this cruel trick would happen to them. My mother was a nurse and she did everything right during the pregnancy, but she still blamed herself, he said. It was so hard for them, but right from the start, they did their best to make me independent. Okay, children, let me explain in detail. Children, please note down the meanings here. Okay, while listening to me, note down the meanings. You will get them there itself. Okay. First, his disability came without any medical explanation. We know his disability. What is the meaning of disability? Disability is a state of being unable to do some activities or certain activities due to lack of certain organs, or due to the malfunction of certain organs. మన బాడీలో ఏమైనా అవయవం లేకపోవడం వల్ల కానీ, ఒక అవయవం బాగా పనిచేయకపోవడం వల్ల కానీ వచ్చిన వైకల్యాన్ని అంగవైకల్యం అంటాం. దట్స్ కాల్డ్ డిజబిలిటీ. ఓకే, మేబీ ఒక వ్యక్తికి లెగ్ లేకపోతే డిజబిలిటీ అవుతాడు, ఒక కన్ను సరిగ్గా పనిచేయకపోతే డిజబిలిటీ అవుతాడు అనమాట. So disability means a state of being unable to do certain activities. Here, what is the disability of Nick? The disability of Nick is that he has no hands or no legs. అడుగుతాడు disability. What is the disability of the person? You can say he was a torso, or you can say he had no arms and no legs. Okay, his disability came. How did it come? Ela vachindi? There should be some reason. Maybe mother was careless. Okay, but here this disability came without any medical explanation. There was no medical explanation. అంటే there was no scientific reason. సైంటిఫిక్గా ఒక రీజన్ లేదు ఇలా ఆడడానికి. దెర్ వాజ్ నో రీజన్. దిస్ ఇస్ ఏ రేర్ మీన్స్ అన్యూజువల్, అన్కామన్, ఎక్కడో జరుగుతుంది అలాంటివి, రేర్గా, అసాధారణం అనమాట. అకరెన్స్ అంటే హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఆర్ ఇన్సిడెంట్స్. రైట్ డౌన్. అకరెన్స్ మీన్స్ హ్యాపెనింగ్ ఆర్ ఇన్సిడెంట్స్. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ రేర్ అకరెన్స్. ఇట్లాంటి డిజబిలిటీ ఫామ్ అవడం అనేది రేర్గా జరుగుతుంది అనమాట. సో his disability is a rare occurrence. It is called phocomelia. ఇట్లాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ని, హ్యావింగ్ నో లిమ్స్, హ్యావింగ్ నో ఆర్మ్స్ అండ్ లెగ్స్, అట్లాంటి చేతులు కాళ్ళు లేని స్థితిని ఏమంటారంటే ఇట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ phocomelia. ఓకే, సో దిస్ డిజబిలిటీ ఈజ్ కాల్డ్ phocomelia, and for this there is no reason, there is no scientific reason to say what exactly the reason behind this is. Okay, and Nick and his parents spent many years asking why this cruel trick would happen to them. It was a cruel trick. Who played the trick? Maybe God. It was a cruel trick. What is the trick? Meaning of trick? Trick means a plan to cheat others. ఇతరులని చీట్ చేయడానికి మనం వేసే ప్లాన్ని ట్రిక్ అంటాం. Actually, they don't know why this happened to them. Why this kind of thing happened to their child. So they always used to ask questions. Maybe they used to ask the God, why this plan to cheat them. వాళ్ళని చీట్ చేయడానికి ఎందుకు ప్లాన్ వేశారు చెప్పి ఎప్పుడు అడుగుతుండేవారంట. My mother was a nurse. See how pathetic it is, how sad it is. She was a nurse. She was not an uneducated lady. She was not any other department. She was not any other department. She was a nurse. She knows how to take care of a child when the child is in the womb. గర్భంలో ఉన్నప్పుడు ఎలా ఉండాలో తెలుసు తనకి, నర్స్ కాబట్టి. And she did everything right during her pregnancy. When she was pregnant means గర్భం దలిచిన ఆవిడ అనమాట. So when she had that baby inside her womb, తన గర్భంలో ఉన్నప్పుడు she did everything right. అంతా బాగా చేసింది అనమాట, అంతా బాగా సరిగా చేసింది. బట్ కానీ she still blamed herself, he said. See, this is the greatness of a mother. She did everything, but she blamed herself. What is the meaning of blaming? Criticizing, vimarsinchtam. She criticized herself. That means she said, it was my fault. I could not see the child well when the child was in my womb. Like that she blamed. Ala tanu nindinchukundi anamata. So that is the greatness of mother. This was said by Nick. Okay, it was so hard for them, but right from the start, it was not at all an easy thing to bear. సహించడానికి అంత ఈజీ కాదు. It was very hard. It was very difficult for the parents. For them means for the parents. But right from the start means from the very beginning, మొదటి నుంచి, ఫ్రమ్ ద వెరీ బిగినింగ్ అంటే చాలా మొదటి నుంచి, పుట్టినప్పటి నుంచి కూడా దే డిడ్ దేర్ బెస్ట్ టు మేక్ మీ ఇండిపెండెంట్. వాట్ ఈస్ ఇట్? ఇండిపెండెంట్. ఇండిపెండెంట్ మీన్స్ స్వతంత్రంగా ఉండడం. హీ షుడ్ నాట్ డిపెండ్ ఆన్ అదర్స్ యాజ్ మచ్ యాజ్ పాసిబుల్. వీలైనంత వరకు తను ఎవరి మీద ఆధారపడి ఉండడానికి ట్రై చేశారు. ఫర్ దట్ దే డిడ్ దేర్ బెస్ట్. వాళ్ళు ఎందుకు వాళ్ళ పూర్తి సామర్థ్యాన్ని వాడి ఏం చేశారంటే ఆ అబ్బాయి ఇండిపెండెంట్గా, స్వతంత్రంగా తనకు తాను పనులు చేసుకునే విధంగా అలా ఉండటానికి వీళ్ళ ప్రయత్నం ఇది చేశారన్నమాట. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ద గ్రేట్ క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ ద పేరెంట్స్. చిల్డ్రన్, అబ్జర్వ్, ఇఫ్ దిస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఎ బాయ్ ఆర్ ఎ గర్ల్ ఈజ్ ఇన్ యువర్ హౌస్ ఆర్ ఇన్ యువర్ నైబరింగ్ హౌస్, వాట్ డు వీ డూ జనరలీ? We don't allow him to do any kind of work. We always make him dependent. వాడిని ఏం చేస్తాం, అమ్మాయిని ఏం చేస్తాం, డిపెండెంట్గా చేస్తాం. ప్రతిదాన్ని మనమే చూస్తాం, ప్రతిదీ. Really it happens. But these people, these parents are very intelligent, they are very clever, they have a good vision, మంచి ఐడియా ఉందన్నమాట వాళ్ళకి. They have got good idea. That's why they tried their best to make the child independent. Means they did their best to make the child do most of his works independently without depending on others. That's the greatness of his parents. See, parenting ante it is not giving food, it is not giving money, it is not giving clothes, it is not giving shelter, it is giving life. It is to make the child learn how to live in the future, so in the society. So that's what these people have done. Okay, so now let's go to the next text. Here in this part we will learn how these parents try to make this boy independent. Independent గా ఉండటానికి వాళ్ళు ఏం చేశారో చూద్దాం ఒకసారి. My dad put me in the water at 18 months and gave the courage to learn how to swim. I also got really into football and skateboarding. I totally love the English Premier League. Nick's father was a computer programmer and accountant, and he taught his little son how to type with his toe at just 6 years old. His mom invented a special plastic device that meant he could hold a pen and a pencil, right? So let us see. My dad put me in the water. Whose dad? Nick's dad. What did the dad do? His dad his dad put him in the water at 18 months. So when this boy Nick was 18 months old, means one and half a year, when he was at that age, his father put him in water. That is and gave the courage to learn how to swim. In that way, he gave courage. What is courage? Courage means bravery, dhairyam. So at this stage, at the age of 18 months, his father tried to give him courage to learn how to swim. It's a great activity, because at that time even we don't allow a child of that kind to go near to water. అంతే వెళ్ళడానికి ఇష్టపడం. అట్లాంటిది this man has courageously, bravely put this boy in the water, and he gave him the courage to learn how to swim. ఈత నేర్చుకోవడానికి కావాల్సిన ధైర్యాన్ని అప్పుడే ఇచ్చేసాడు అనమాట. నెక్స్ట్, I also got really into football and skateboarding. I also got really into. Got into means, see, really involved. అంటే పూర్తిగా ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయిపోయాడు దేనిలో? ఇన్ ద ఫుట్బాల్ అండ్ స్కేట్ బోర్డింగ్. సో దిస్ బాయ్ నిక్ హిమ్సెల్ఫ్ వాజ్ వెరీ మచ్ ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్ ఇన్ ఫుట్బాల్ అండ్ స్కేట్ బోర్డింగ్. ఐ టోటలీ లవ్ ది ఇంగ్లీష్ ప్రీమియర్ లీగ్. సో వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ది ఇంగ్లీష్ ప్రీమియర్ లీగ్? It is just like our IPL, Indian Premier League. This English Premier League is connected to football. Nick loves football very much. Nick's father was a computer programmer. That means he prepares programs for computer. Maybe he is like a software engineer and an accountant also. Okay, that was his duty, that was his job. So question may come like this: what was Nick's father? Nick's father was a computer programmer and accountant, and he taught his little son how to type with his toe. See, at just 6 years old, when this boy was 6 years old, maybe first standard, like that. So at that age, father taught him how to type on a keyboard using his toe. You know, we have his little chicken drumstick, little small foot is there on the hip, right? With that small foot has some toes, చిన్న వేళ్ళు ఉంటాయి అక్కడ, వేళ్ళు, ఆ కాలు తాలూకు వేళ్ళని గోల్ టోస్ అంటారు అన్నమాట. సో యూజింగ్ ద టో, హౌ టు టైప్, దట్ వాజ్ టాట్ బై నిక్స్ ఫాదర్. నిక్స్ ఫాదర్ అప్పుడే 6 years అప్పుడే చెప్పడం నేర్పించాడు, ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయించాడు అనమాట. టైప్ విత్ హిస్ టో అట్ జస్ట్ 6 years. His mom, so what did mother do then? Did the mother keep silent? No, she invented. His mom means mother invented. Invent means created something new. కొత్త కొనుక్కున్నారు. ఏంటి కొనుక్కున్నారంటే ఏ స్పెషల్ ప్లాస్టిక్ డివైస్. వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఎ డివైస్? డివైస్ మీన్స్ an instrument or a piece of equipment. పరికరం. Device means an instrument or a piece of equipment. Children, please write down the meanings so that it will be very easy for you to understand the text. Okay. So his mother invented a special plastic device. It is made of plastic. So okay, what did she invent? She invented a special plastic device. What is the purpose of it? What is it meant for? దాని ఉద్దేశం ఏంటంటే that meant to he could hold a pen or a pencil. ఒక పెన్ కానీ ఒక పెన్సిల్ కానీ పట్టుకోవడానికి, హోల్డ్ మీన్స్ grip or grasp. So to hold a pen, he can't hold a pen because he has no hands. So for that purpose she created something, a new device. A device means instrument or a piece of equipment. So mother and father did equally well to make the child independent. So these parents are really great, and most of the credit goes to these parents and the brought up pempakum and the brought up they give is a model to all the parents. Okay, right. Note down the meanings. Okay, we have 4 meanings here. Courage, got really into, device, and hold. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. Now we will see about Nick's schooling and his problems, right? Let me read the text. Despite the risk of being bullied, his parents insisted Nick on attending mainstream school. It was the best decision they could have made for me, adds Nick, who later achieved a degree in financial planning and real estate. It was very hard, but it gave me independence. Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility and a team of carers to help him. Right? So let us see. Despite, at the beginning only we have a difficult word. Despite means in spite of. Ainappatiki, though. Despite means in spite of. Ainappatiki, though, under, although, even though, like that. Despite the risk, there was risk of being bullied. There was risk for the boy for being bullied. What is the meaning of bullied? Bullied means frightened or hurt. అంటే తన్ని మానసికంగా లేదా శారీరకంగా భయపెట్టడం కానీ లేదా గాయపరచడం కానీ ఇబ్బంది పెట్టడాన్ని బులీడ్ అంటారు. దిస్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ వర్డ్, బులియింగ్ అంటారు. దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ బులియింగ్. There was a risk for the boy. As long as the boy was with the parents, there was no problem. But when this boy got into the school, there would be a problem. So what kind of problem? His parents insisted Nick on attending mainstream school. Here, children, we have 2 kinds of school. Earlier, it is a special school. This one, mainstream school. We have 2 kinds of schools. I told you earlier, special school is meant for disabled children. అంగవికలు ఉన్నటువంటి పిల్లలకి పెడతారు, ఈ మోగా చెవిటేట్ల పిల్లలకి అనమాట. మెయిన్ స్ట్రీమ్ స్కూల్ ఈజ్ అవర్ రెగ్యులర్ స్కూల్, కామన్ స్కూల్, జస్ట్ లైక్ అవర్స్, మనలాంటి స్కూల్స్ అనమాట. సో దీస్ పేరెంట్స్ డిడ్ నాట్ admit him in a special school. They admitted him in a mainstream school. Children, tell me, is the boy interested? Nick? No, not at all. How can you say? His parents insisted. Let us see the word insisted. Insisted means forced. గట్టిగా బలవంతం చేశారు అబ్బాయిని. Because he was a boy, almost a small boy. He feared automatically భయపడుతుంటాడు అనమాట. That's why his parents forced him. That is the strategy, that is the idea, the great vision of the parents. Because if this boy were admitted in a special school, he would always be afraid of normal people. He would always be frightened by the normal people. He would not feel confident. ధైర్యం ఉండదు వాడికి, నమ్మకం ఉండదు ఎప్పుడు అలా ఉన్నట్లయితే. కాబట్టి this decision of the parents was very great. His parents insisted Nickని బలవంతం చేశారు on attending mainstream school. So they made Nick attend the mainstream school. Mainstream school means a normal school. There was risk. Even though there was risk of bullying, the colleagues, sorry, the classmates of the boy may hurt him, may harm him, may beat him. They may frighten him. భయపెడతారు, గాయపెడతారు, లేదా గాయపరుస్తారు, ఇబ్బంది పెడతారు. Even then, even there were those problems. The parents wisely admitted him in a mainstream school. It was the best decision they could have made for me. At the beginning, children, అక్కడ చెప్పారు ఇట్ మే హ్యావ్ బీన్ అని చెప్పాడు, అక్కడ అవ్వచ్చు అని చెప్పాడు. ఇప్పుడు చెప్తున్నాడు ఇట్ వాజ్ ద బెస్ట్ డిసిజన్ దే కుడ్ హ్యావ్ మేడ్ ఫర్ మీ. వాళ్ళు చేయగలిగిన డెసిషన్స్లో బెస్ట్ డెసిషన్ ఇది అవుతుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఇఫ్ దే హ్యాడ్ ఇంకొక స్పెషల్ స్కూల్లో పెట్టినట్లయితే ఇంత గ్రేట్గా ఉండేవాడు కాదు. నో, వీ వుడ్ నాట్ హ్యావ్ స్టడీడ్ హిమ్. అతను ఇది చదివి ఉండేవాళ్ళం కాదనమాట మనం. యాడ్స్ నిక్ who later achieved a degree. See, that boy who was born a torso, who had no legs and arms, that boy achieved a degree in financial planning and real estate. That's a course in degree. He got it. He achieved it. Achieved means he succeeded or he got. సాధించాడు అనమాట, ఒక డిగ్రీ సాధించాడు అనమాట. It was very hard, but it gave me independence. Really, it was very hard for such a boy. Very difficult. But it gave me independence. So joining in a mainstream school is not difficult, is not easy. It was very difficult, but it gave him independence. He became an independent guy. Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility and a team of carers to help him. Because even though we say a lot of things, it is not possible for such a man to carry out all the actions. అన్ని పనులు చేసే కెపాసిటీ ఉండదన్నమాట. Nick, who was teased, he was teased. Teased means made fun of, made angry. అంటే ఇతన్ని గేలి చేసేవారు, అందరూ అల్లరి పెట్టేవారు. Teased, he was made fun of అంటే అతన్ని గేలి చేసేవారు, అల్లరి పెట్టేవారు. He was bullied, ఈవెన్ వీలైతే కొట్టడం అలా కూడా చేసేవారు. అట్లాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్ ఉండేవన్నమాట. అట్లాంటి వాడు హ్యాడ్ అన్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ వీల్ చైర్. He had an electric wheelchair for mobility. What is mobility? Mobility, movement. You know, mobile, we say mobile phone, so it is a moving phone. It's not like landline phone. That's called mobile phone. It is for mobility, movement. So the chair, the electric wheelchair, was used by this boy Nick for moving from one place to the other place. Okay, and he had a team of carers also. Who are carers? Carers means people to take care of him. వాడిని చూసుకోవడానికి ఉన్నటువంటి కొంతమంది వ్యక్తుల్ని, హెల్పర్స్ని, we can call them helpers. So there was a team of helpers to help him. So this boy Nick was helped by a team of helpers also. This is this text. Let's go to the next text. Yeah, in this text we are going to see the difficulties of the boy, right? Let me read the text. I was deeply depressed when I was 8 years old, he said. I went to my mom crying and told her I wanted to kill myself. I felt cold and bitter. I hated God for doing this to me and was terrified of what would happen when my parents weren't there to look after me. I could brush my own teeth with a wall-mounted brush and wash my own hair with pump action soap, and there was so much that was impossible for me. There was so much that was impossible. Really, having no legs and arms is not an ordinary thing to talk about. It is a great loss. So, though he is a great man, though he is very though he is a very strong-minded fellow, there are so many things that he cannot do. Let us see. I was deeply depressed when I was 8 years old. This boy was when he was 8 years old, maybe 3rd standard, like that. He was deeply means very much depressed. Depressed means deeply saddened or unhappy. చాలా బాధపడ్డాడు తీవ్రంగా. What happened? Let us see. I went to my mummy crying. How did he go? He went there crying and told her. What did he tell her? ఏం చెప్పాడు? I wanted to kill myself. అమ్మా, I want to kill myself. That means he wanted to commit suicide. చచ్చిపోవాలనుకుంటున్నానని చెప్పాడు. These are the saddest words any mother doesn't want to hear. Saddest words, most difficult words for a mother to hear from a child, from her child. Okay, so what happened? Maybe this boy might have been bullied, might have been teased, might have been harmed, or he might have been hurt by maybe his classmates. Okay, let us see. I felt cold and bitter. What is this? Felt cold and bitter. Cold ante chali, bitter ante chedu, adi kaadu ikkada adham. Felt cold and bitter is an idiom. Jatiyam. What does that mean? See, felt uncomfortable and unfriendly. See, if you go to a new school, how do you feel? Maybe you have no friends, so you feel a kind of uncomfortability there. So it is called uncomfortable or unfriendly. If you go there and if you stay for 1 week or 2 weeks, you can easily settle over there. But this boy felt cold and bitter every day. Maybe he had no friends. Maybe he had no classmates to look at him with proper respect. So that's why I felt cold and bitter అని చెప్పాడు. I hated God for doing this to me. He hated God, దేవుడిని అసహించుకున్నాడు, for doing this kind of cruel trick. Okay, what is the cruel trick? So giving birth without giving arms and legs. That is the what we call, that is the cruel trick. For that he hated God, దేవుడిని అసహించుకున్నాడు to me, and was terrified of what would happen when my parents weren't there to look after me. He was terrified. What is terrified? Very much frightened. చాలా భయపడిపోయాడు అనమాట. ఎందుకంటే వాట్ వుడ్ హ్యాపెన్, ఏం జరిగిపోతుందో when my parents weren't there to look after me. What is the meaning of to look after? Look after means take care of. To take care of, జాగ్రత్తగా చూసుకోవడం. So to take care of, my parents were there. If my parents were not there like that, అలా పేరెంట్స్ లేకపోతే what would happen to me, ఏమైపోతుంది నాకు అని I was frightened very much. చాలా భయపడ్డాను నేను. So most of the credit goes to parents also. దీని యొక్క ఇతని గొప్పతనం పేరెంట్స్ కూడా వెళ్తుంది అనమాట. Because the parents were such intelligent, they had such a vision, they wanted to make him independent, they had all the positive qualities. That's why now we are studying this man, we are studying a torso, right? I could brush my own teeth with a wall mounted brush. See, in our area we find some people even at the age of 7 or 8 years, mother or father brushes a child's teeth. We observe it. But this boy, though having no arms and legs, no arms to take a brush, I could brush my own teeth with a wall mounted brush. Means a brush was attached to the wall, attached to a wall. So maybe he would just move his head like this so that he would brush his teeth. Wash my own hair with pump action soap. Maybe it was there on the over the head, so it might move, and it would give him some kind of pump action. That's why his hair would be cleaned. So he arranged for things. He did not take help of the people. He took help of the things, devices like wall mounted brush, pump action soap, all these things he used. I mean, by using this kind of things, he made himself comfortable, he made himself independent. And there was so much that was impossible, but there was so much that was impossible. Even though he does a lot of things, some of the things on his own, but there was so much that was impossible. That means there are so many things that he is not able to do. Right? Children, are you noting down the meanings? Because we will see the opposite words and even spellings also at the end of the video. Okay? And we have come to the last slide of the text, right? At age 10, Nick tried to drown himself in the bath, but luckily the attempt was unsuccessful. I felt there was no purpose when you lack purpose and strength. It is hard to hold on, he said, but with the help of his religion, friends, and family, Nick managed to pull through to become an international symbol of triumph over adversity. Here we have many difficult words. Maybe children, you can note down them all. Let us see. At age 10, maybe he was studying in 5th standard or so. Nick tried to drown himself in the bathtub. Nick tried to drown. What is the meaning of drown? Die. How? Nick die by being under water for a long time. It's called drowning. మునిగిపోయి చనిపోదాం అనుకున్నాడు అనమాట. ఎక్కడ? Where did he want to die? In the bathtub, in the bath, while he was taking bath. But luckily, his attempt was unsuccessful. He tried. His try was unsuccessful. He tried, but it was not successful. That means, though he tried, he could not die. చనిపోలేకపోయాడు. Maybe his parents, maybe somebody else came there to save him. Right? చనిపోలేకపోయాడు. I felt there was no purpose when you lack purpose and strength. This is a beautiful sentence. When you lack purpose and strength, when you lack purpose means here, the first purpose, let us see. I felt there was no purpose, there was no use or meaning. In life, జీవితంలో ఉపయోగం ఉండదు అనమాట, జీవితానికి అర్థం ఉండదు ఎప్పుడు. When you lack, LACK lack means లేకపోవడం, కొరత. ఏంటి లేకపోతే? When you lack purpose means here ability to plan. At least you should have some ability to plan. And strength, కొంచెం బలం ఉండాలి నీకు, మెంటల్ స్ట్రెంగ్త్ ఉండాలి, ఎబిలిటీ ఉండాలి కొంచెం ప్లాన్ చేయడానికి. అవి లేకపోతే your life is meaningless. It is hard to hold on. It's about life. It is very hard to hold on. Hold on అంటే to survive in difficult situations. So he is saying that if you are not strong in mind, you cannot survive in difficult situations. All the time in life, you cannot have only pleasant situations. You cannot have all the easy things. You will have difficult things to manage. So, అలాంటి టైంలో you feel it difficult, it is hard to hold on. తనకు మాత్రం it is very hard, it is very, very difficult to survive. బతకడమే చాలా కష్టమే తనకు అనమాట. It is very difficult to survive. Survive అంటే live. To live అతనికి కష్టమైంది అనమాట. Because it is not an ordinary thing. Having no arms and legs, we know it. But with the help of his religion, right? So there is always someone behind you when you become a successful person. Here are some many people like religion, Christianity. He belongs to Christianity, matam vallu, and friends and some family. So these people helped him. They were always at his back to support him, to ask him, to make him go on. ముందుకు వెళ్ళడానికి హెల్ప్ చేశారు. Nick, with all these people's help, Nick managed to pull through. What is the meaning of pull through? It's a very important word. Pull through. Pull through means success, to succeed or win. So he managed to win. Now he is the winner. He is the successful person. That's why we are studying him. So to pull through, so he was able to pull through. He could succeed to become an international symbol. He is not a great man in our village, in our town, in our country. He is a great man known all over the world. He is the most famous motivational speaker. Okay, he is the international means worldwide symbol of triumph over adversity. Last words, 2 words, very important. Triumph. What is triumph? Triumph means success. He was a successful man. See, if you have everything, you can get success. If you have all the required things, okay, with your full body, your wealth and everything, you can become successful, become successful. But here, he is successful over adversity. What is adversity? Adversity means a difficult situation. So, he was fully surrounded by difficulties. కష్టాలను చుట్టూను. all the difficulties. Let us see the word adversity. Adversity means difficult situations. చేతులు లేవు, కాళ్ళు లేవు అంటే అంతకంటే ద మోస్ట్ డిఫికల్ట్ థింగ్స్ ఏం లేవు. అట్లాంటి సిచ్యువేషన్లో హీ బికేమ్ ఏ సక్సెస్ఫుల్ పర్సన్. కాబట్టి హీ వాజ్ ఏ సింబల్ ఆఫ్ ట్రయంఫ్, విజయానికి గుర్తు అనమాట. దేని మీద అంటే, దేని మీద విజయానికి గుర్తు? కష్టాల మీద. హీ డిడెంట్ ద డిఫికల్ట్ సిచ్యువేషన్స్ డిడ్ నాట్ స్టాప్ హిమ్, అది ఆపలేదు. Today he is the most inspirational speaker. He stands as a model. He stands as a symbol for all the youngsters or everybody on this earth, because though he has no legs and arms, he became a successful person. That's why we should admire him. Okay, that is the greatness of this Nick. Children, we have come to the close of the class. Of course, we have the language items like grammar and vocabulary. Grammar has already been taught earlier in the class, and vocabulary synonyms have been given while taking up the class. Now let us have a look at some antonyms. Okay, some opposite words. Ravi is a special man, but Hari is an dash. So guess what could be the answer. The second sentence, my mother goes to temple dash, but it is a rare experience to me. Today's independent India was dash before 1947. We have learned everything is possible and nothing is dash. Triumph is not a regular occasion like dash. Don't blame anybody without proper knowledge, but you can dash him without knowledge. So these blue colored words should be given the corresponding antonym or opposite word. I think you have guessed some of the words. Let us check the answers, right? Okay, so the first one, special, the opposite is ordinary. Second, rare, here frequently. Then independent, dependent. Possible, impossible. Triumph, it may be defeat or loss. And blame, it is praise. These are some of the antonyms of this text. Now let's go to the meanings also. Some spellings. In examination, we'll have 3 kinds of spelling tests. They are number 1, finding the wrongly spelt word. Number 2, suffixes. Number 3, vowel clusters. Right? So here we have suffixes and vowel clusters. I have given you some frequently appearing words. Let us say special, decision, pregnancy, independence, accountant, bullied, terrified, impossible, unsuccessful, religion, triumph, adversity, programmer. Of course, programmer, ER, that's right, ER is right. Now last, distraught. Of course, we have both suffixes and vowel clusters mixed here. These are some of the important words from this text. Okay, these are spellings, and we have grammar topic also like relative clause, defining relative clause DRC and non-defining relative clause NDRC. They have been earlier taught, so I'll sum it up. Thank you one and all for having listened to me and for having given me the golden opportunity. Thank you so much.